203 and 1. That's bold but classy. Field of 10. Phillies lining up for tonight's opener. They're picking up speed. Here they come. They're often pacing, tempting on the inside, on the outside. KB's Rita shoots out for Miller. Tempting takes command, a length and a half. Genie's Maid racing second. KB's Rita parked down the outside third, half length to Luscious Leader. Racing in fourth, Double H Bretta, three behind her. Then it's a length to the Roan Tiro filly, Broadway Dawn. Break at 3.5, Brooklyn's Giggles. A length and a half to No Undies. Then it's Too Much Mo. And trailing Madam Brown off the quarter, 28 and 2. Fast pace being set by Tempting and Tony Morgan. Now Morgan trying to settle her down. She leads at a length. Genie's Maid in the pocket. KB's Rita close up in third. Length and a half to Luscious Leader. Break of 4.5 to Double H Bretta. Length and a half to Broadway Dawn. Then three more back to No Undies. She's starting to make her move. Far back to Too Much Mo. Madam Brown not traveling very well. Brooklyn's Giggles. Half and 58 and 4. They move on to the far turn. It's Tempting on top. A tight length. Perfect trip for the long shot. Genie's Maid. A length to KB's Rita. No Undies. Racing without cover. Right behind her, Broadway Dawn moves into striking position for Holland. Luscious Leader saves ground. Then it's Double H Bretta. Far back, Too Much Mo. Past three quarters, 129 and 4. From the outside, now KB's Rita takes command. KB's Rita with 3/16 to go. Leads at a length and a half. Genie's Maid. Racing in second, Broadway Dawn picks up the leaders in third. Here comes Double H Bretta flying down the middle. Broadway Dawn, Double H Bretta is charging. Double H Bretta, Broadway Dawn, Double H Bretta takes it a half length. Broadway Dawn, then KB's Rita. It won 59 and 4. Here they come. They're often pacing. Morgan sending Afraid of the Dark right to the top. Afraid of the Dark. Wheels clear, a length and a half. Big Red Bunny racing along the rail. On the outside, there goes Distinguish. Ranging up third, now second. Holly Sweetheart away in fourth. Length in front of Burgundy and Brie. Length and a half to Blizzard Baby and Holland. Length and a quarter back to Rosedale, Dixie, and McGee. Length to Fox Valley Vanessa, followed by Haley Mindale. Bait and Hope the trailer past the quarter, 28 and 4. Race up the backstretch. Distinguish leads at a tight length. There goes Afraid of the Dark. Afraid of the Dark. Moving swiftly to retake the lead. On the outside, Holly Sweetheart with a burst of speed up to challenge. Distinguished is right there in third, a length and a half. To Big Red Bunny, length and a half. To Burgundy and Brie. Rosedale Dixie swings to the outside. Blizzard Baby saving ground. Fox Valley Vanessa, Haley Mindale, and Bait and Hope. 58 and 3. Little more than 3/8 to go. Holly Sweetheart continues to pressure the leader. Now clears. Opens up by 2 on Afraid of the Dark. Big Red Bunny into the action third. Burgundy and Brie Looming large for Heichman. They come off the corner. Holly Sweetheart leads at a length and a half with a quarter mile apace. 3/4, 129 even. Holly Sweetheart under a drive. Big Red Bunny up to collar her, Afraid of the Dark. Maneuvering for racing room. On the outside, Burgundy and Bree now closing in with an eighth to go. Burgundy and Bree. Now Morgan reroutes with Afraid of the Dark. And here she comes again. Afraid of the Dark now. Zooming on by. Takes the lead and will keep it in 1:58.4. Burgundy and Bree. Haley Mindale up for third. They're off and pacing. Magic Dance comes flying out with Charming Commander. Now those two joined by Bold But Classy. They're lined up 3 across. Magic Dance now crossing over. Bold But Classy comes through. Charming Commander looks to settle in third, a length in front of Sporty Carla, who has secured a good early spot fourth. 2.5 back to Beth's Little Girl. Length and a half D-Day Gold. Another length back to Close to Mama. Length back to Holly's Bewitched. And then it's Beguiling I'm Sorry Mama trails. 28 seconds, the opening quarter. Race up the backstretch. Magic Dance in command of the fractions. Leads at a tight length. Bold But Classy racing second. Charming Commander third, a length. Sporty Carla fourth. Length and a half, Beth's Little Girl. Now she angles out. Length and a half, Close to Mama. Holly's Bewitched right on her back. D-Day Gold will save ground along with Beguiling. I'm Sorry Mama's at the end, 58.2. Move around the far turn. It's still Magic Dance on top, a length. Good trip for Bold But Classy. Sporty Carla now bids first over, grinding it out. Charming Commander, 3.5 off the lead in fourth. On the outside, Beth's Little Girl. Then it's D-Day Gold. Close to Mama. Launching from last, I'm Sorry Mama. They've got a quarter of a mile apace. Magic Dance still out there by 2.5. Bold But Classy trying to keep pace. 3/4, 128.3. In mid-stretch, it's all Magic Dance. Magic Dance leads it by 2. Bold But Classy, Charming Commander. On the outside, Sporty Carla. Close to Mama. Now Beth's Little Girl. It's wide open. They're across the track. They're coming from everywhere. Close to Mama wins it a half length at 1:58.2. Field of 10, fillies and mares lining up. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Crash Landing going right to the top for Maxwell. Crash Landing takes the lead. Leads at a tight length. Banner's Gem away in the pocket. A length and a half to Amy McDougal racing in third. In fourth, Daddy's Little Pro. Now Can Be Jade crossing over fifth. A length to Stealthy Dragon. Followed by Pretty Miss Ideal. KB Sister Sue. Length and a half, Liberate. Secret Hiding Place is at the end, 28.4. Approaching the 3/8, Crash Landing. Leads at a tight length, Banner's Gem. A long shot getting the trip. A length back to Amy McDougal. A length to Daddy's Little Pro. KB Sister Sue bids first over. Length and a half to Pretty Miss Ideal. She jumps into the action. On the inside, Can Be Jade. Then it's Liberate. Secret Hiding Place. Stealthy Dragon half and 59 and 3. KB's Sister Sue, forging past, crash landing in the final 3/8. Length and a half to Banner's Gem third. Pretty Miss Ideal left uncovered. Amy McDougal racing fourth. Daddy's Little Pro looks for racing room. She's hemmed in by Liberate. Secret Hiding Place launching 3 deep in the final quarter mile. It's KB's Sister Sue, the one to catch. 3/4, 129 even. 3/16 to go. They're on their way home. KB's Sister Sue leads it by 2. Crash landing, trying to keep pace. Secret Hiding Places launching a rally. Amy McDougal looks for racing room. Liberate now, closing in with a rush. Liberate, charging to the top in deep stretch. Liberate now, wheels out with every stride. Liberate and Pinsky win it in 1:58 and 3. Daddy's Little Pro, Secret Hiding Place third. Field of 6 lining up. Here they come. They're often pacing. No Hood and Speedster Osborne both coming out together. Speedster Osborne takes command on the outside. There goes Westburn Magic. Half length to No Hood racing third. Length and a half Trojan Knight racing in fourth. Rod's Deal away in fifth. Quick Tie trails the field, approaching the opening quarter. On the inside, Speedster Osborne on the outside. Westburn Magic wheel to wheel past the quarter, 28 and 2. A race up the backstretch. Now Westburn Magic forging past Speedster Osborne. There goes No Hood and Morgan. Length and a half. On the inside, Trojan Knight. Rod's Deal now jumps into the action. Followed by Quick Tide. Approaching the half. No Hood leads it. Rod's Deal on the attack. Westburn Magic racing third. Quick Tide with perfect cover. Half and 56 and 3. 28 1 second quarter. They wheel onto the far turn. Rod's Deal up to take on No Hood in the final 3/8. Westburn Magic right behind those two. Quick Tide racing on the outside fourth. Speedster Osborne racing fifth. Then it's Trojan Knight. They come off the turn. No Hood and Rod's Deal side by side inside the quarter pole. 3/4, 125 even. Rod's Deal on the outside. McGee urging him on. No Hood just his game. These two wheel to wheel, stride for stride. Final eighth of a mile. Now Rod's Deal takes command. No Hood's not giving up. It's Rod's Deal. No Hood is trying to come back. Rod's Deal in deep stretch. Rod's Deal leads it and will keep it as he crosses the line at 1:53 and 2. No Hood second, close for third. Ten fillies and mares in behind the starting gate, picking up speed. Here they come. They're often pacing. Good start. Madge, Jackie, Who, Cyberspur, and Just Our Cammy all come out. Now there goes Holly's Ink Spot. Madge, their own filly, takes command a length from Jackie Who a length. Holly's Ink Spot racing in third. Just Our Cammy crossing over fourth. A length in front of Cyberspur racing fifth. In sixth around the turn, Armbro Redwood, the 2-year-old with Walter Haynes Jr. off the quarter, 28-4. Curve off the turn, move up the backstretch. Madge has it by 2 on Jackie Who. 3.5 back to Holly Zinkspot, a length just our Cami. Length and a half to Cyberspur, length and a quarter to Armbro Redwood. 2 behind her, Jake Sugar. Now Boca Rio Baby makes her move. Trailing Alicia Legacy off stride was Jake Sugar. Madge still leads it, no pressure. On top by 2, half and 58-4. Easy second quarter for Madge. She moves on to the far turn, a length and a half. Perfect trip for Jackie Hewell Miller. Holly Zinkspot racing in third, Just Our Cami bids first over. Racing to the inside of her, Cyberspur. On the outside, Armbro Redwood. Then it's Boca Rio Baby far back. Alicia Legacy and Uno Bad Girl. They've got a quarter of a mile pace. It's still Madge. She's the one to catch Jackie Who, lurking in the pocket. 3/4, 129-1. Jackie Who starts to make her move. Madge digs in. Heitman asking for a little bit more, and he's getting it. With 1/8 of a mile to go, Madge out in front. Jackie Who trying to chase her down, but Madge leads at Jackie Who. One last move. Madge is still in front. Half length. Jackie Who, Cyberspur, a fast closing third in 157. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Miller has Sulindan all fired up. He comes out quickly to take command. Then it's Miller Creek Willie. On the inside, Robbie's first mate. Sulindan leads it into the first turn. Pressure from Miller Creek Willie. Length back to Robbie's first mate, Silky Starship. Away in fourth, 4 lengths behind the top 3 as they approach the opening quarter. Then it's First Society, 27-2. Sulindan cutting it out, leads it. Miller Creek Willie still parked on the outside, with Robbie's first mate right there in third. Silky Starship 5 lengths behind in fourth. Then a gap of 6 to First Society, followed by Jargo. Then it's Slumlord, Satellite Fling, a length 2. Unshakable Faith, and your trailer Try Again. They're still going at it. Sulindan and Miller Creek Willie to the tune of a 56-4 half. Now Robbie's first mate is out and driving. Round the turn, Sulindan. It's been used hard on the outside. Robbie's first mate, Miller Creek Willie, right there in the pocket. Silky Starship looms large for Robbins. On the outside, Jargo's winding up. Then it's Slumlord. First Society needs racing room. They've got a quarter of a mile to pace. Sulindan leads it by 2 3/4, 127-1. 3/16 to go. Sulindan by 3. Jargo is closing in. Satellite Fling now is picking up momentum. Satellite Fling. Here comes Unshakable Faith. Unshakable Faith is streaking past to take command. Unshakable Faith in deep stretch takes it for Morgan. Unshakable Faith by 2. Satellite Fling. First Society in 156-2.
There is your result.
Here they come. They're often pacing Majestic Glance, Playmore, and Eyes of Ants. Line up 3 deep. Majestic Glance working his way to the top. Pressure from Playmore. Now Eyes of Ants comes through. Playmore will back off. Crosses over third. A length in front of Just Sign Here. Length and a half to Clark Gable. Length to Dan Axe and Passion Ration. Followed by Keystone Throng. Keep Your Pants On and King's Run. 28-3. Race up the backstretch. There goes Playmore. Playmore moving steadily towards the top. We'll get a fight from Majestic Glance. Eyes of Ants right behind those two. Just Sign Here, 3 behind him. Length to Clark Gable. Keystone Throng swings to the outside. Passion Ration saves ground. The big horse, Keep Your Pants On, into the outer flow with King's Run. Half and 57-2. Playmore leads it into the far turn. A length from Majestic Glance. On the outside, Just Sign Here is first up. Half length, Eyes of Ants. Clark Gable poised and ready to strike for McGee. Passion Ration. Keystone Throng, Keep Your Pants On. Still a good 7 or 8 to make up. They're in the home stretch. Playmore and the White Bridle leads at a length. 3/4, 126-3. It's Playmore into the final 3/16 with Majestic Glance right there on his back. Keep Your Pants On uncorking a furious late rally. Here comes Keep Your Pants On. Playmore trying to fend him off, but it's a futile attempt. Keep Your Pants On leads it in strides. Clear. Keep Your Pants On easily at 155. Majestic Glance, then a photo for third. Ten fillies and mares lining up. They're picking up speed. Here they come. They're often pacing, the speed coming from the outside with Ariel's MJM and Lady Laurie K. They come out together. Lady Laurie K. moves past. Ariel's MJM a length. Nearby, 2 behind in third, a length to Mixed Emotion, racing in fourth. Finale's filly away in fifth. A length to Trendy Liz. Length and a quarter to Southern Vamp. Tight length to Dale Heitman and Nicole Summer. Length and a quarter Emma T. Hart. Trailing the field, Anna Crombie. 28-4. Lady Laurie K. leads it by 2, 2.5. Ariel's MJM tries to cut into the lead. Length to nearby. There goes Finale's filly with Trendy Liz perched right on her back. Half length on the inside, Mixed Emotion. Southern Vamp jumps into the action as they approach the half. Length and a half back to Nicole Summer. 58 seconds, the half mile. On to the far turn, Lady Laurie K. Finale's filly grinding it out. Now pulls within a half length. Perfect trip for Ariel's MJM. Trendy Liz poised for Dean McGee. Nearby looks for Racing Room. Southern Vamp 4.5 off the lead with a 1/4 mile apace. They're in the home stretch. Past 3/4. 127-1. Lady Laurie K. digging in. Morgan now asking her for a little bit more. Finale's filly still out there second. On the outside, Trendy Liz and Southern Vamp both closing in. Lady Laurie K. still leads it. Trendy Liz is relentless. Southern Vamp, they're 3 across the track. Lady Laurie K. from start to finish. Morgan wins again. Close for second. Southern Vamp over Trendy Liz at 155-2. Here they come. They're often pacing. Atta Girl Essie showing pace with Sweet Beauty. Now Poco Crossroad coming through on the inside. Three-way battle between Atta Girl Essie, Sweet Beauty, and Coleman. On the inside, Poco Crossroad and Dwight Banks. They back off. The battle settling in third. A length in front of Betty Bogart and Tony Morgan. Tight length to Lake Kills Joanne. Followed by Sand in My Hair. Then it's Queen Cam and Nice and Devilish. 28-3 the opening quarter. Off stride, Betty Bogart. Move into the 3/8. There goes Sweet Beauty to take the lead away from Atta Girl Essie. Poco Crossroad racing third. Lake Kills Joanne in fourth. On the outside, it's Nice and Devilish. Half length. On the inside, Sand in My Hair. Queen Cam is on the move. Still far back on a break. Betty Bogart. Past the half in 59 seconds. Sweet Beauty, Neil Coleman on top, a tight length. Atta Girl Essie right there on her heels. Nice and Devilish without cover, now third and closing in. Queen Cam moves to the outside, fourth, poised and ready to strike for Jacobs. Poco Crossroad is hemmed in with Lake Hills Joanne. And then it's Sand in My Hair. They're in the home stretch, 3/4, 129-4. Sweet Beauty leads at a length. Nice and Devilish is falling off. Atta Girl Essie looks for racing room. Here comes Queen Cam. Sweet Beauty into the final eighth. Queen Cam is closing in. Now Atta Girl Essie finds a seam. Here comes Atta Girl Essie. Queen Cam. Lake Kills Joanne is flying. Lake Kills Joanne streaking past to take it in 158-3.